Welcome to Match of the Day.
Good afternoon and welcome to Gosport's Match of the Day. Well, for copyright reasons, it's the Southern League Match of the Day today as Gosport hosts Walton and Hersham in a real blockbuster game today. Mark, Walton and Hersham, you cannot underestimate them at all. They've had a great start to the league season, probably looking to challenge for the title. How do you prepare for this game today?
Yeah, it's a difficult one. It's always difficult bank holiday weekend when you play the Saturday and the Monday. We've had the lads in slightly earlier today to make sure that they recover properly and to make sure we get a chance to do some analysis before today's game. Sometimes that can be lost in the bank holiday short turnarounds. So we make sure we've got the right information in. I think we're probably as prepared as we can be. I think, as I was saying earlier, I think Saturday's result for us was disappointing, not just the result, the manner. So I think it's sometimes this time of year when you play Saturday, you've only got to wait a day and you can go again on Monday and sort of, you've only got Sunday to mull it over, and then Monday you can go again and try and put it behind you. So that's key for us today.
For you, what was it that was so bad that went on Saturday?
Well, footballers are human beings, and they're not robots, and we certainly can't control them. And why does a group start a game so slowly? Why does a group have an off day? I think if we knew the answers to that, we probably wouldn't be at Gosport. We'd be somewhere else. But it was just one of those days. We weren't at it. We have to accept we're not at it. We have to have some tough conversations. People have to understand the levels that's expected of them if they're going to play here. We are expected to be at the top end of the table. We're expected to be hunting down the playoffs, and let's be really honest, performances like that will get us nowhere near it. So we've had some frank conversation, we've had some frank discussions. We've, like I said, had the lads in early today to go through today. So let's hope we see a reaction.
Going back to that game, the first 45 minutes, if I'm being completely honest, it was a pretty dreadful first 45 minutes. But the last 20 minutes, it looked like the substitutions that you guys made, they made a real impact. We hit the post, crossbar a number of times. And today, a lot of them are starting the game today.
Yeah, I think when you watch it back, anyone that's got eyes in their head will see that we weren't at it. When we gave the ball away, they transitioned really quickly with big numbers, with big powerful guys. Having said that, when you watch it back and you look at the chances we had, we still created good chances when we were playing really badly. We got in down the right hand side 2 or 3 times, we got in down the left, we created good shooting opportunities. And then even in the second half, we didn't start as we wanted to, didn't regroup like we wanted to regroup, we still created good chances. But yes, when the subs come on, and let's be really honest, we just went more direct, and we just got the ball forward quicker with probably 3 centre forwards on the pitch with Ethan, Rafa and Woody. We created lots of chances. We probably are going to create lots of chances. Berkhamsted had not won up until that point, so they were going to be edgy. We knew they were going to be edgy. And let's be really honest, we have goal disallowed when we watch it back. There was no foul on the goalkeeper, and our own player went into him. So that's probably 2-2. Ethan Taylor gets brought down for a penalty, absolutely should have. And both Raf and Ethan had really good opportunities inside to equalise and even win the game. So as bad as we were, we still actually could have got something out of it. So you've got to learn from the negatives, pick the positives out, and then you'll see from the changes we've made today, hopefully we're fresher today.
You mentioned about those attacking changes in particular. We've got Dan Wooden back in the starting 11 today. Do you think that will help Ethan Taylor as well, so he's not so isolated up front?
Yeah, we certainly hope so. Dan's been around this league and above for a very long time, and I think there's no secret to the way Woody plays. So hopefully by getting Woody and Ethan a lot closer together today, then let's see what that partnership can bring. But that's definitely a key point for us today.
Jack Fox also in the starting 11 today. We've seen him get a few goals in pre-season, but defensively he's solid. Is that why you've added him to the team today?
Well, I think just sometimes you need, especially on a double game weekend, you need energy. And Jack certainly gives us energy. If we decide to go after him, we can go after him. If we decide to sit in more of a mid or a lower block, he's good defensively, he's good in the ball, he's tidy, and I think he'll give us great fresh legs and energy today.
What do you think we can expect from Walton today?
Well, I mean, Walton are a good side. Walton only know how to play one way, and that's to play football. You know, they will, whatever the score is, whatever state of the game is, Walton will play. They know no other way. You know, they're dangerous. They score a lot of goals. You know, last week at Dorchester, 3-0 down, come back to draw 3-all. You know, very late. They score goals. They create chances. It'll be an exciting game. That's what you get with Walton. They know nothing else. Fair play to them.
Right, let's see how both the teams have lined up today.
5 changes made from Saturday for Gosport: Wooden, Phasma, Tommaso, Fox and Solly all back in the first team. As for the Swans, it was an unchanged side from the one that drew to Taunton on Saturday.
Nua on the near side. He passes into a bang. The bang with space, cuts inside of Solly, goes for a low driven shot. It forces a good stop there from Ryan Hall. Had to get down low to his right to parry away the shot. It's the game from Ryan Hall. Well, that is not a good back pass there from Charlie Basma. It's a known goal by the looks of it. The last touch coming off of Ryan Hall. Rogalski celebrating.
I think Rogalski's going to claim that. I know it's a bit of a comical one, but
Williams losing possession to Wood on the far side, into Powell. Powell cuts back into Rogalski, and Rogalski puts it in the back of the net for his second goal of the afternoon. He's 4th in the last 2 games. Making possession on the halfway line, storming forward now, lays it to Taylor. Taylor outside the D, back into Ramos. Ramos for a goal, goes for a shot. It's straight down the route of Barker though. Good stop by the Walton number 1. Greenwood, right of centre with this free kick. Steps up, goes for a shot. It's excellently tipped onto the post there by Barker. Brilliant save, great free kick though.
A 2-0 defeat today to Walton Hersham. Simply just not on it today.
Yeah, it was a tough one. We've had a disappointing bank holiday, so you know I get where the fans are, I get where the players are myself. So it's going to be a tough week. You know, we have to go back to the drawing board, sort of think about where we go and what we're doing. You know, look at our identity, our game plan. Have myself and Glenn and the management staff done everything we can to, you know, to help the players, but you know we've got to all look at ourselves and make sure there's a reaction there for Saturday's game.
The 2 goals which we did concede, it felt like they were very easily preventable. Is that how you guys saw it?
Yes, certainly. I mean, it's been a common theme over the start of the season. You know, we've got given ourselves a chance because we're going on behind early, and like you say, as a manager, it's one of them things that if someone plays through with half decent football, or you know it's something from long distance, you can kind of hold your hands up. But we seem to give other teams a leg up, and then we're climbing a hill to try and get not just only back in the game but to win a game as well. So it's very disappointing. But like I said, I'm not here to hang people out. It's all of us, it's myself included. You know, are we doing what we can to make sure the players are ready for the game?
What do you think the mistakes are boiling down to? Because in the 2 prior games to this, we conceded 2 consecutive penalties in each of those games. Obviously today, just mistakes at the back. Can you put your finger on it?
I wish I could. As I say, at the moment, again, I'll be going home looking over things, look over every game, you know, try and find a solution. If I knew what it was, I'd certainly fix it. But again, it's a case of we all need to have a look at ourselves, because, like I said, it's not ideal. It's not very good for the club and the game, trying to get points on the board. You know, it's hard enough in this league to try and get a positive result, but to give a team a leg up, you know, we don't get a leg up by anyone. So it's a case of, like I say, go back to the drawing board, have a look at ourselves, have a look at what's what, and you know, make sure we're better come next Saturday.
We had 2 shots on target in that game. One from a set piece with Greenwood, and the other from Rafa. Just looked like we weren't creating enough in open play today.
Yeah, like again, I've said, yeah, it's not been a great weekend. It's well, Saturday, like I said in the interview, we created quite a bit then, but today, you know, we were kind of not really firing in front of goal. And like I said, if you're not going to score, you certainly got to keep a clean sheet, and we didn't do that again from letting the team get a goal lead from our own mistake. Really, is disappointing. But like I said, it's just all areas we need to tighten up on, we need to get better at. And I agree with you, today's been a tough day to take, and we need to go back to the drawing board and really try and put a few wrongs right.
Rafa Ramos, he came on today. I thought he made an impact. With Ethan Taylor being sent off,
he'll probably get suspension, not for the Basingstoke game I would imagine, but for the ones after that. But he's got a real chance now to stake his claim in the squad.
Yeah, like I said, at the start of the season we put a squad together, that can be competitive. So one player going out, whoever comes in and fills that void has to stake their claim to want to be in the starting 11. They should all want to do that. And again, we've rolled the dice with a few players this weekend, and has everyone kind of given us a headache in terms of wanting to start the next game or looking to start the next game and done enough? I don't know. So it's something again I need to watch back, because we shouldn't be questioning people's desire and work rate. And I think at times over the 2 games we've probably been outrun a little bit, which is a bit disappointing. But again, is that down to us? It's a question for myself.
Do you think it's also down to this being quite a newly assembled squad, players still trying to gel with one another?
Yeah, it certainly doesn't help when you have a big overhaul of players. With the fixtures as well, we knew there'd be teams that we started against that would be top of or looking to get promoted, so it was going to be tough. But we can't blame these types of things. We have to make sure we worry about ourselves and how we conduct, what we do on the pitch, and in training and in playing games. And like I said, we've got to look at ourselves to make sure that we become better, because if we don't, then it's going to be a long old season. Do we feel we've got enough there? 100%. So it needs to be a positive week's training and make sure, like I said, we have that reaction come Saturday, and we can't keep having the same mistakes and the problems that keep occurring week in, week out.
Before I ask you about Saturday's upcoming game, I'm going to pick out one player who I thought played excellently today, that being Greenwood.
He's done well since he's come in. He's got a lovely left foot. He's got good quality on the ball. He gets up and down. He's played in a couple of positions for us, so he's done well. Since he's come through the door, he's been a good signing. So we sign on 28 days, and then there'll be a conversation for when that period's up. But it's been a tough weekend.
And then obviously Saturday we have a little bit of a break from the league, turn our attention to FA Cup action, take on Basingstoke Town. Obviously got a few familiar faces, one being Charlie Austin. We have conceded the most goals in the league, so how do you plan to nullify their attack?
Well, I think, like you mentioned there, we've conceded the most, but I don't think teams have had to work too hard to get the goals, which is, one, the frustrating thing, and secondly, it shouldn't be happening. So we have to correct that very, very quickly. Like I said, if I can accept goals going in against us if they're from good play or something, but I think we've conceded 3 penalties, and the rest of the goals, have been pretty poor. So it's a case of we all need to put hands on deck and make sure that we first and foremost sort that, because teams that want to be successful are built from a good solid base.
Well, thanks for your time as always, Dutchy. See you Saturday, and final words from us as always, up the Borough.
Up the Borough.